And we start with the FCS National Championship. The 2014 field has been whittled down to two heavyweights. The number 1 seed, North Dakota State Bison, looking for their 8th national title against the number 2 seed, James Madison Dukes. This game will be in Frisco, Texas. Emory, this was the matchup we expected since week 0. Strength versus strength at every single position. Let's talk about what this JMU defense is going to have to do to slow down the Jerry Rice Award winner, potentially the Walter Payton Award winner in Trey Lance and this North Dakota State offense.
I think what they have to do is keep him confined within that tackle-to-tackle box. We know Lance is a tremendous rusher, their leading rusher on the football team, but he's also a great passer. You want to take one of those elements away, and I think you want to take the run away because the run usually equals time of possession, usually equals a defense getting worn down. So that's why you always want to take away the run first and make him a one-dimensional player. And that's not saying his one dimension isn't good, but it's about stopping the run. If you can stop the run for North Dakota State, keep him contained within the tackle box, make him throw the football, make them rely on their tailbacks more so than Lance's ability to run, it gives you a chance defensively. And I think that's the mindset they're going to have to go in and have. Now, they've done a great job in doing that all season long. So like you talked about, strength versus strength, their strength matches up well with the strength of North Dakota State, but they have to make sure they keep Trey Lance tackle to tackle, keep him playing a one-dimensional game.
The biggest thing the JMU does have is explosive difference makers on the edges, especially at defensive end. You got Daka there. You've got players all over the Holloway as well. It comes off the outside from the linebacker position, so it'll be interesting with them. But the secondary will be tested too against this North Dakota State team. They've got some track stars, legitimate track stars.
Legit track stars.
At the wide receiver position. What about North Dakota State? Because they don't exactly have the explosive playmakers on defense, but they are solid defensively all the way around, very well disciplined. This is a JMU team that's got some speed on their own, but they don't really have an explosive player at quarterback. Danucci is a good runner, but not a great runner like Lance is. What does JMU have to do on offense to beat the Bison, and what does North Dakota State have to look for to slow down this JMU offense?
Well, you could beat teams with discipline and execution, and that's North Dakota State's motto. That's what they've done since Craig Bowles, since Chris Kleiman, and now with their new head coach. So they've done a great job historically being disciplined and executing at a high level. And I think in this game against JMU is going to have to do something outside of what they normally have done. I think the passing game is going to have to be the way they're going to have success. It's going to be tough to run the football against North Dakota State. That's a given. So can Ben Danucci win with his arm? That's going to be the biggest question in this game. And if you're North Dakota State, I think you have to make sure Danucci doesn't become a dual threat. He's quietly killed teams with his ability to run. Make him throw the football, make him beat pressure. I think that's one area where they can affect the pocket or affect this ball game is by getting in the pocket, causing duress, making him make plays uncomfortably in the passing game. And I think that's an area where North Dakota State can have an advantage, I think, against James Madison. I think their defense, because of how they can cover on the back end, I trust their secondary. I think both secondaries in this game are really good, but I like North Dakota State's secondary matched up against those receivers of James Madison. Now, we know they love to run east and west and get receivers involved in the run game, but I think playing that run game first and allowing your back end to do things well, let's say whether it's zone coverage or man, if you trust your guys in man, making Danucci beat you throwing the football is going to be key.
It's going to be huge, too. We got two teams with stables of backs from in the backfield from 3 or 4 deep on both sides. Two very different stories at quarterback. Trey Lance, they all can do it. Freshman might be the next quarterback drafted from North Dakota State to go to the NFL. Danucci, the transfer from Pitt, going into his final year. How do you see this ball game going? Because the front sevens for both teams on defense are solid as well. This is so even across the board. What's your take?
Yeah, all things being equal, this is an evenly matched game, but I do like North Dakota State to win. I would take Trey Lance over Ben Danucci. I think Lance has proven when you're young, you don't know things, and that could be a great thing. And I think because of that and how he plays and how much he has meant to this offense, they'll win. I think it'll be a close game, but I do like North Dakota State to win.
I agree. I think North Dakota State by a field goal. I have some strange inkling that the kickers, who are both very consistent as well in this game, might be the deciding factor, but I think North Dakota State wins potentially at the last second. I think it's going to be a very close ball game.